Hello everybody, this is Party Wolf. I'm here with a new video on what is a bad combo. This is more directed towards newer players, but I mean if you're intermediate this may be useful too, I'm not sure. And I'm basically going to be going over the dangers of doing a bad combo and how a combo can be bad in the first place. So in SoulCalibur there's a few things you should really be looking at on your combo optimizations. So the first one is to make sure that your combo is not air controllable. Now how do I know if, my standard combo I've been doing since day one is air controllable? The way you can tell is if they are spinning or if they are falling. So the combo you see me do all the time with Keelix AB, you can see the enemy Keelix is just spinning completely in the air, right? Whereas you see him do BB and he's just falling to the ground. The act of falling to the ground is what you're looking for here if the combo is escapable. And actually you can see right here, if I were to go for a second AB, all of a sudden Keelix is falling instead of spinning. So we will show examples of this right now. Air control set to the right. Keelix is falling, therefore he can move while he is in the air. And all you have to do to move in the air is you just press a direction like you would for walking around the map. And we will see with the Keelix AB, you can see that the character cannot move at all, which makes my combo 100% consistent afterwards. Unless I were to go for additional ABs, like you saw here, where all of a sudden they are falling instead of spinning. So that is how you can tell if your combo needs optimizations for as far as air control goes. The next thing I want to talk about is Ukemi. Ukemi is kind of interesting because you can hit the opponent while they Ukemi, and basically what Ukemi is you knock them to the ground, and then they do a quick rise into any direction that they choose, like forward, back, left, or right. And there will be like a white splash on the floor as they get up. Now sometimes you want Ukemi combos every single time. For example, Keelix 1A, there is nothing I could do to combo off of this move if you were to Ukemi, whereas if you did not Ukemi, which we will show now, I can choose to 3B you, just as an example. However, there is a danger to Ukemi, where you will see, okay, well he's attempting a combo that is doing a lot of damage on the ground, let me do an Ukemi. You have some moves called Ukemi traps, or combo sequences rather, they're called Ukemi traps, that look like this. You try to Ukemi, and then you have a window where you cannot block, and the move will act like a combo. So sometimes it is a mix-up, sometimes it's something that you never want to do ever. For example, if I were to do CE, and then my jumpy, the jumpy is just guaranteed no matter what, but the act of Ukemiing here makes it so that my CE hit them standing, which actually allows me to do an additional follow-up instead of the combo that would have just ended at the jumpy if he had not Ukemied at all, because the jumpy would have hit him on the ground instead of standing. So that's kind of like the mix-ups where Ukemi comes into play. Your Ukemi awareness is pretty much just based on your knowledge of the game. Unfortunately, there's no clear-cut indicator as to whether Ukemi will be a bad idea or a good idea. You just kind of have to know, and that's part of learning matchups in this game. But it is something to be aware of, which is why I covered it. I think another thing that's more simple to cover is your combo enders. So for example, I typically like to go for B plus K with Keelix, because you'll see that I am very close to my opponent when I end with B plus K, whereas if I did something like, I don't know, 6-6B, they're a bit further away. Or how about we show it with back Ukemi just for more emphasis on him going backwards. So you can see the distance between us right now, whereas if I did 6-6B, they're quite a bit further away from me. So I would say keep in mind the distance between you and the opponent when you choose your combo enders. Also, the recovery of the move matters a bit, so if you have something that makes the character lag a bit more, like Keelix 6K, it does something very similar, but it takes more time for Keelik to perform an additional action, which is why I choose B plus K in general. So that's something to consider when it comes to your combo enders for additional pressure. Another thing about this game is that there are ringouts. So sometimes a combo that would be really, really cool, like, you know, the main one Keelik players do all the time, Keelik AB, and it's a 4KB. A situation like this, you could use Keelik's 6BA and get that ring out instead of the forward momentum of the normal high damage combo. So Keelik actually has the liberty of choosing a lot of angles, and some other characters are like this too. Or sometimes you'll do a combo with Keelik where it starts scaling a lot, but you move them way closer to the edge for it, like this. So your ring positioning could also dictate whether or not your combo ender was good or bad. Because like doing 6BA normally, this is barely any damage, but if there's a ring out, then it does all the damage. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is meter in this game. So while it's super cool and sometimes your highest damaging combo to do a C afterwards, you will notice that, well, it costs meter. So why is this an issue? Well, sometimes you'll have an opponent perform his soul charge, and then he's like, oh, he's just running at you like a freight train, like, oh, he's gonna kill me. But you can use this opportunity to, instead of allow him to pressure you, you could soul charge him as well, and now he's further away from you and you're also empowered. But if you had spent a meter in a combo earlier that did a lot of damage, you no longer have this option because you spent all the meter to do that. Also, it costs meter to resist impacts, which can alleviate pressure, and that's something to consider too. Do you need the resist impact for like a really obnoxious break attack or something? And actually, one more thing that I forgot to mention, because as you can see, I made the most beautiful outfit ever. Small Keelik. Some characters in this game are bigger than others, and will allow for different combos. So an issue Keelik has sometimes is if the character is extremely small, so like Xianghua or Amy, this combo no longer connects. So please keep in mind that your combo may not work against every character in the game. This is a lot of information to find out if your character is bad, so what I recommend is go to character discords or watch tournament matches of pro players, just to see if the combos they do are good or not, because most of the time they're pretty good combos. And again, I'd like to thank Mixbox for helping me out with making videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out their store and send them some love for me. Thanks everybody, I hope this video helped.